Yeah. What's up? How are you? Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Fire. I am your host, Krazee J. Today, I have a wonderful guest who also happens to have a heart of gold in the community, a very charitable type of person, a very giving person, and a person that will go out of their way to make you feel part of the community. Um, we're going to get to know this person. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, might be the biggest, and I don't want to say underdog, but the biggest surprise in this challenge. Um, he was shocked when he received an invite, but again, this person did receive an invite by the League of Fire to attend the Zest Fest for the chili pepper eating contest that is coming up very shortly. So let's not waste any more time. Let's bring in Brandon Honeyboy Collins.
What's up, Krazee J?
Hey, what's going on? I appreciate your time as I do everybody. And I know, everybody's got these schedules where time zones apart, but here we are.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to have the people learn a little bit more about me.
Yes. Just like I did with Ruthie. Ruthie felt like not too many people knew about her, and here she finished second place in the last competition.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, and she's here now. So yeah, very exciting. I'm excited to see what you can do because I remember, and this is just me. I remember seeing you the first time, and I was like, man, this dude's goofy, and and I mean that in a good way, a very very good way. I was like, I think, not to bring up crazy memory, but it was a Roadhouse situation. I know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
And you were pouring a nitro beer because somebody told you were pouring your beer wrong.
Oh
and you,
yeah, and I kept on going off about how you need
yes,
to
that was
hard pour it or whatever.
one of the first times. Yes, one of the first times I remember actually seeing you on screen, and you had this cup and you made this goofy face, and you just went. And then you were just after that you described like, no, it's literally how you're supposed to pour these.
So it's just that way, right?
And I was
Yeah,
like,
we had
this
some
dude is
goofy times
goofy,
back
and
then.
I loved it. I loved every bit of it, and I kind of like started following you since, and we've grown a little closer over the time.
Yeah, man. I think all of us have really grown pretty close in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yes, for sure. And so, since this is the first time I've sat down with you in this format, let's as I start off with most people that are new to my interviews, let's give a little bit of a backstory about you, whatever you're comfortable sharing, and then maybe
Yeah.
how you got started.
So, some people might know this, but I was a military brat, and my dad was in the Navy, so we moved around every other year, to all these different states, uh, Hawaii, California, Washington, Texas, just all over the place. And I lived in base housing, so it was like a melting pot of like culture and stuff.
Sure.
So we ate all sorts of, you know, just different ethnic foods growing up. Our neighbors were, Filipino or Hispanic or whatever have you. And I fell in love with spice and good flavor food. Like I call it white people food, but white people food doesn't excite me, like hamburgers and stuff like that.
All right.
Just doesn't excite me. So I really fell into that like ethnic food love.
Uh-huh.
And then years later, like it was mid 2019, I started growing some chili peppers, and one of my friends saw a picture of my peppers and invited me to Chasing Capsaicin. And that's pretty much where it all started for me. It was Chasing Capsaicin. I fell in love with the community, with the people, with pepper growing. Shortly after joining Chasing Capsaicin, I became an admin in the group and really just started going from there. And it really, my passion took off from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was like? So, you've always done the spice food, but what would you say was the first thing that really pushed you to the edge, or really was like, oh, this is definitely something real, like maybe a
Like, this is
challenge or
for me. Yeah, yeah.
yes, yeah,
So, you know, Derek Hertzl, right?
I've heard it. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah.
know who that.
So well, I don't think he does anymore, but back in the day, he made some pretty mean tinks. And him and Ragnar Ragnarsson. I remember I won before I was admin, I won like a huge giveaway in chasing capsaicin, and I got one of his tanks and one of Ragnar's tanks. And the tinks, that's really what lit my fire, basically. Like,
Okay.
Derek Hertzl's tank was just so pepper forward, and I never experienced that kind of like pepper flavor before, and
Right.
tinks, how extreme they are. I was
Yeah.
like, I fell in love with it. I was like, man, if something, one drop is all I need, I'm down for that. So
Nice.
I just fell in love with tinks. So I started doing a bunch of tinks of my own, making them and giving them away. And
Yes.
then the honey came shortly after that.
That's very cool. Like the honey. So obviously Honey Boy, that's where this comes from, you know.
Yeah. Honey
So
pot.
let's go
Honey
ahead,
boy.
since you brought it up, let's go ahead and talk about that now. When I say the generosity of the giving in the community, you what was it, 2 years ago now, right? Started
Yeah,
this
that
called
was
the
the
honey
first
pot.
season. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
going on the third year this year.
yeah.
So the first season I did the honey pot, I really didn't know what I was doing. I knew I just wanted to, you know, have something to give back to the community, something like the whole community could be a part of, and have
Mhm.
one thing that everybody had a hand in making. That
Yes.
was really important to me. So I was thinking about it, and finally one day I was like, Jared, what about a honey pot, man? What about this honey pot? We could have everyone send in powder. We can all mix it into this big pot of honey. And he fell in love with it. And I don't know about you guys, but I really look up to Jared and what he does with the community,
Yes.
the giving nature that he has. I, you know, I'm not I'm not that blessed or anything. I try to give back as much as I can.
Mhm.
So the first year I did the honey pot, I ended up spending like $450 out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
And then last year I ended up, spending $150 out of my own pocket. And everyone's like, why are you doing that, man? I'm like, it's not about money for me, guys. It's about giving the community,
Yes.
this thing,
Yeah.
So I've kind of changed it up a little bit this year, and hopefully it's worked out where I make zero money and it's all balanced. I'm trying to make zero money, trying to
Right.
lose zero money also, though,
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and then also, with giving to the community, I make my cutting boards too.
I was gonna bring that up. Yes.
Yeah. Here, I got one right here. I can
Yeah,
show you
he's
guys.
quite crafty with some things. Yeah.
This is Eric's. I still need to send to him.
Very cool.
So, but yeah, I make these cutting boards. I do, these cross stitches. I just started doing these ones.
Yes. Yeah,
So this is
those are
all
cool
hand
too.
stitched needlework and stuff
Look at
like
that.
that.
Colors
So
are colors are on point and everything.
yeah, I'm working on Eric midges right now.
Yeah, I seen you doing that. That's cool too. The stitches, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I love the crafty stuff. I've done these
Yes.
things called pepper poles, where it's the pole that you put in your garden. It's got a bunch of like eyes all over it to like
Yeah.
watch over your garden. I just really like the artsy side of it, and then
Yes.
just giving back to the community, man. It's awesome. And then,
Yeah. And
when people, I hear them, when I talk about honey pot, I like Ruthie Booth. She loves her freaking honey, man. And when people light up when they talk about the honey pot, that just warms my soul, dude. That's what I do
that's
this
right.
for.
Yeah, and I got to experience it, this year. And you also have crafted some collaborations with some other people with your honey pot too.
Yeah, that's been super fun this year, working with Jared. We
Yeah.
did a honey boy soy.
Yes.
I'm almost out of this bottle.
And mine went fast.
Mine
Mine went so fast. Yeah.
And
Like
then
I said,
with Randy, I did the honey boo boo sauce. And
that was amazing too. I
yeah,
just finished that off. I think maybe I only have a little bit left. But that's
yeah, I
good.
got a tiny bit left of the bottle that I opened. It's so good.
And then you made a peanut butter.
Yeah, that was on my own.
Yes.
I made this peanut butter, honey pot peanut butter, and then I made an orange marmalade to go with it.
Yeah,
And
very cool.
Yeah, it's funny though. I made all that orange marmalade and peanut butter. It's all sitting right here. I'm keeping it for all the competitors.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. For sure.
Yeah, that goes back with giving. I was like, man, I really am just honored to be there. Like you said, coming in, I do. I feel like the underdog in this, man.
Yeah, and I didn't want to refer to it like that, but you might be.
It's true though. I think I am probably the lowest on the chili pole or whatever.
Yeah.
But not like I'm inexperienced or anything, because I've
I've seen you burn with the best of them for sure.
Yeah. Like what was it, the end of last year? Probably the hottest thing I've ever done. That 16 mil Scoville cap crystal, the skull tink. That was something else. I plan on getting to that level during the competition. So hopefully I do well, man.
I think you will. I really do. I think
to just beat Jared. So if I can beat Farmer J, I'm not. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, everybody has a goal. Everybody's setting themselves.
And the thing is, I don't really have a goal. My goal, I'm fighting against myself. I'm not seeing it as like I don't have no competitors going into this, except for myself. And just for me to get up on that stage is going to be a big accomplishment for me, man. It's kind of nerve-wracking thinking about it, My adrenaline's going to be pumping. I got to eat all these chilies in front of all these people, So but it'll be a good learning experience, and hopefully I do well, man.
So speaking of that, have you ever eaten more than maybe one or two peppers at one time, or how does that
just recently I just started training for this, and just recently I've had like 4 or 5 in a row.
Okay.
And it's interesting the things the body does, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What would you say is your favorite by flavor, heat level and all that? Maybe your favorite pepper, whether it be a common or uncommon.
It's funny. I'll say it time and time again. I love the habanero. I just love.
I ain't mad at you for that.
I just love that fruity flavor. The heat. It's not blow your mind kind of hot. It's just, and it's just right at the beginning of where it gets uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And most of my stuff features habanero at least in it.
And at one point, the habanero was the record holder. At
one point.
Now it's like
below
mid grade even.
You don't even consider it a super hot anymore, I don't think.
No, not at all. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it is crazy. Jim was saying it the other day, like, where, or maybe it was Jared, where,
the tolerance level.
A couple years ago we were just doing drops of Robbie's, and then Robbie's, and now everyone's doing these Tridents and bottle chugs now. I'm like, that's a little all too much for me. I'm still, it's funny. I'm kind of still back in the drops stage,
for sure.
I've done my fair share of Robbie's and everything, but there's a season for this stuff too. You can't just go hard all year long. You got to.
Oh, I agree. And like I said, I've taken quite a few months off of burning or anything like that.
Just this last month that I found out I was going, I've been hitting it really hard. So it's reminding me of like a year ago, because like I said, you don't burn all the time, and I really haven't burned that hard in probably a good year. So it's been a challenge to get myself back up to the level that I was at,
Right. And the thing about tinctures is they're homemade, for the most part. There's a couple that are professionally made. I'm not saying that these people aren't doing a good job, but even when you make the same thing, the amount of peppers might vary a little bit. What you know what I mean? Just even if you make the same tincture, the same flavors, you might add a little more, you might add a little less, you might add more flavor. Like it's all gonna hit you differently anyway. So
Yeah. Like it's funny, and I've seen it time and time again. Like different capsaicinoids will hit different people differently. You know
yes,
what I mean? You can get a chocolate pepper. Some chocolate peppers really mess people up. Or any of these floral peppers. Some people don't like those.
yeah, I'm not a floral pepper
And
person.
it's the
Purple.
same thing with the tinks. Like it depends on what you're using, what it is. Like this Black Death tink that Jif made.
Yeah, I haven't tried
Everyone's
that yet.
saying
I did.
it's crazy, crazy hot. And it is, don't get me wrong, but the flavor is something that, like, for just this one particularly, this brings me back to those beginning days
All
that
right,
really got me into it. Like this reminds me of a Derek Herzl's tank.
nice.
When I got this and tried it, it just was like, man, I'm glad I'm still doing this. I'm glad I'm still here, because
That's cool.
otherwise, I don't want to miss out on this awesome stuff that everyone's doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that I did Jared and your interviews back to back, because you guys, if you go back and watch them, have literally touched on almost the same things. When you talk about giving to the community, and I talked about how generous Jared is, and you literally hit right on that. So I'm glad that on this channel that I've done your interviews back to back. It's perfect. I feel like
Yeah,
the timing is working out.
I'm real thankful for Jared, because I see a lot of self promotion in the pepper community. Not that that's wrong or anything,
Right.
but my focus isn't on self. I do make stuff and I do sell some stuff here and there, but that's
Well,
not
sure.
that's not what it's about. It's about giving back to the community and making the community comfortable split place for like everyone. Cause like I've seen it a lot. Someone comes in and asks a beginner question about peppers, and then everyone's jumps down
Blowing
their
up.
throat, like,
Yeah.
you really don't know? And I'm like, hey, like, don't let these people affect you, man. That there's gold in this community, man. You just have to, get past some of the rough stuff.
Right.
Well, like we all know him. You guys know Pepper Bay, right?
Yeah.
Pepper Bay. He was the first time he entered the pepper community. He was bullied by some people on a comment, and
Right.
this was like literally the first time he ever interacted with the pepper community. And I was like, Pepper Bay, don't let these guys bug you.
Yeah.
Stick with it, man. Be active. Stay active, and you're gonna learn something. You're gonna see the good in the community. And sure enough, he stayed around. He won a few giveaways, and man, now he's like one of the biggest pepperhead I know.
Absolutely. And
And I just
he might
think
be.
back, like what if I was a dick to him too?
Mhm. I get it. No, I get it. And then some people do get discouraged by, obviously. And like I said, getting to know him last time when he competed and stuff like that, and he makes every effort to attend as many festivals as he can get to. And I mean, like, getting to know everybody has been awesome, especially the behind the scenes and what people don't see and the actual. And that's what I'm trying to
That's
like.
that's the real stuff of the community.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to
A lot of
portray
people don't
within the.
see it, and you may never see it, but I'm telling you guys, there's so much love and so much caring that goes on
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
yeah, you
It
just got to get through the
it will
weeds
touch
to get to
you.
the sweet stuff.
Yeah. You got to get through the rough stuff, and then you get to the gold, man.
That's right.
Another guy I want to shout out, Fernando Diaz.
Yes.
I see he really, really influenced me in the beginning of it all. Watching him, listening to his Rasta music and burning down on the Muddapucka 2.0, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this guy, if he's doing it, if he's he's just like me. This guy is
Mhm.
literally just like me.
Yep.
And if he can do it, I can do it. And that's when I really started gaining the confidence to take on this hot stuff, man.
That's really cool because I was gonna kind of touch on that. I was gonna ask you um who your original or biggest influences were in the community that really got you like hooked, and you kind of already touched on that, but
Another person, Stephen Hoodie,
yeah,
up in Canada. I don't have a closer friend in the pepper community besides him.
sure,
He's he was just always there for me, not even just pepper related, but just emotionally and all that stuff too, like a real friend.
right.
It's crazy, you come into this as a hobby thinking you're just gonna have a couple buddies and talk crap about peppers and who can burn hotter and this and that, but you end up making true friendships.
You really do. And like I said, that's one thing I'm kind of everybody kind of touches on. There's 14 competitors at this table, but every one of them has a connection, and it's not just eating peppers. There's a personal connection for the most part with
Yeah.
everybody that's going to be at that table.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. My heart it almost can't take all the love that is
No,
going to
I
be at
I
that
get it.
table, man.
Trust me. Yeah.
It's insane, just the amount of caring that we all have for each other too, man. It's cool. It's cool that we have this,
Yeah.
that we can have this sort of like community, this gathering, this friendly competition too.
Yes.
Um, you know, some people think I don't like Canada. I don't know wherever that got there. I don't know how that ever was a thing.
I don't know.
But Mike Jack's gonna be there.
Yes.
Uh, man, good luck to everybody, all the competitors.
For sure.
This really is just a big brotherhood, man. And we've had some rough stuff in the past with different groups and this and that.
Yep.
None of that matters, man. Really, once we all sat down, it's about the peppers, man. It's
And
about
you
the
find the
love.
core of why you're there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, man. Really making these memories is why I'm excited to be there.
Well, I mean, we have, certain things, we hang out or whatever, virtually obviously, but you know, we're part of chat groups or whatever, and we've said it. Let's quit focusing on what separates us. Let's focus on what brings us together in those
Yeah,
situations. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. And like I said, your craftiness, your skills, your donations to the community is top notch. It's a big deal. I'm a big advocate for mental health, stuff like that.
yes,
So
sir. Oh, yeah,
this community does give you a sense of belonging, but like you said, you sometimes got to get through the rough patch to find it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, you know, back to the giving, man. It's man, I lost my train of thought.
It's
Never
all
mind.
good.
Y- uh, you know, we're just gonna keep doing it. You
We
know,
are. Yep.
we're just gonna keep doing it, man. Because it. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the giving, man. The reason I do it is because it was done for me. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? When I first got in the community, I cannot tell you how many just like free bottles of hot sauce giveaways I've won.
Mhm.
Countless,
Right.
countless generosity. So, if it wasn't for that, and just the nature of the people, I wouldn't be in it as hard as I am.
Yes.
So I keep it going, I pay it forward. And we do these giveaways, we do Friday Night Fire. Um, we do a giveaway every week there, chasing capsaicin. We do those less frequently now, but every now and then you can catch one. And we just try to keep it going, man. I want the people to continue to be interested in the pepper community.
Yes, for sure. Um, yeah, so let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the burn questions. What would you say was like your first challenge level experience, whether it be a League of Fire challenge or even like a personal
I
challenge?
did the first real like challenge thing I did was the little nitro gummy bear. You know
Okay.
that one, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And I did it so like nonchalantly that I knew that's when I knew. I was like, I must be a chili head because this really
Right?
didn't do much to me. And like Pocky One chips, I see, you've seen the videos, people on the internet just
Freaking out.
dying, geeking out over one freaking chip. And I'm
Yeah.
just sitting here like, thinking, man, I could eat like 10 of them probably before I started to get a little crampy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, since you touched on that, so let's talk about your experience or your worst experience with cramps and what that challenge was and what that experience was for you.
So, like I said, the hottest thing I ever had was that skull tank, that
Yeah.
16 mil skull tank, but that's not the worst cramping I've ever had.
Okay.
Uh, in Cap Crew, they do a challenge every year called Taco Gang,
Okay.
right? And you get a bottle of taco sauce and you pour it on some tacos and you eat them, right?
Yes.
And I don't know, I think it was 4 tacos that you had, or 2 or something. I think it was 4. Now I'm thinking about it. I got 3 of these tacos down, and I got to the last bite of the 4th one, and I had like a wad of taco in my mouth, and I was chewing on it, and I just had this one bite left, and everyone was cheering me on, and all of a sudden I was just like, nope, I can't do it. I went, and just
Yeah.
spit out that one bite. I put that down and I shut off the camera. Well, as soon as I shut off the camera, bro, I pulled out and I got a trash can right here. Pulled my
Yeah.
trash can out and just
Oh man.
let it all out. Oh my God. I threw up so hard that I ended up busting blood vessels all over my face. And it looked like I had like
Yep.
chicken pox or something, man.
That's what the challenges do to me when I get rid
Oh
of it.
man, yeah, I burst all my eyes were so bloodshot, so red, man.
Yes.
And then like I don't know, for the next like 4 or 5 hours, I was in the bathroom just like I mean, you've been there. We all know what that feels like,
I
man.
know, and it's a crazy feeling that first time you experience. It's like, what is this? What is going on?
Those do you remember the Cap Bomb bunnies?
Yes.
The gummy bear bunnies? I
Yes.
think it was, what was that, Bruce, right?
Yeah,
Made those.
Bruce Smith did that. Yep.
Holy, those got me bad too with the cramps, man.
I
Because
think it's the
it's
gummy
a
part too,
gummy,
because
man.
you probably don't chew them up as well as you think you do.
Yeah, man. That wrecked me cramp
Yeah.
wise too, man. I was dead after that one. And I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, I've done challenges that in the mouth were way hotter, but
Yeah.
they didn't wreck me up near as much in the gut, man. So
Right.
it goes back to like different capsaicinoids, affect us all differently. So
For sure.
it's
For
pretty
sure.
cool.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Like I said, Zest Fest coming up. It's a few weeks away now. We're getting closer. So let's are you've
I've-
recently upped your pod game for prep, right? Trying to prepare.
Yeah. I got a couple boxes from Nick Kemp's, and I've just been smashing some pods
That
here.
man grows
It does.
serious stuff.
It's gonna make the difference for me just competing, just to
Yeah.
have that fresh pod taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna do a challenge for you guys.
I was gonna say, is there something you would like to share with us while we're here?
Yeah, I got a Pocky one chip challenge that I
Well, that
can
one
do.
looks signed. Who's that? Who signed that one?
This is from James Jackson.
Okay. Oh, Candyman. That's the guy.
Yeah, do you guys remember that guy?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We don't hear that guy.
And he's not worried about the League of Fire points, by the way. So he's
Yeah, guys, I'm not worried about a point here. We're just gonna show you what us chili heads do with these one chips. We
do for
just
fun
smash them out
sometimes.
like no problem.
For sure. The old crunch, the stale crunch, the awesome flavor that goes with it.
Wow.
I think that's part of the challenge, though. People complain about us. I think that's actually part of the challenge.
I think that one had a hole in there or something because it's super stale.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
That's another thing. Challenges, they get old, man.
They do. They do. The one chip challenge, the 2020 version of the one chip challenge was my very, very first challenge. And I had zero issues with it. And that's what got me going. I kept going from there. Yeah, excellent.
Oh
So
yeah.
so technically, if he was to do League of Fire, that literally is how you would earn 1 point in the League of Fire. You've open mouth, empty, gone. There's no
Done.
burn
Easy
time with
day.
it. You just eat it. Yep. Yep. Awesome. So yeah, that was awesome, and I always appreciate you. I look forward to watching you compete, man. I think you'll do better. I think you'll surprise yourself, believe it
I
or
think
not.
I will too, man.
I really
I
think
think I
you'll
will.
do. Yeah, I think you'll do well. I As much as you might not believe it, I think you'll be a lot more composed than you realize.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
excited
gonna be
either
the
way.
excitement of being around your friends that'll kinda get you more so than
Yeah.
or meeting these people that, like I said, there's a lot of heavy hitters this time, everybody
Yeah.
wants to meet, but so, everything's good, right, with that chip? No big issues, right?
Yeah, I got a little eye water
Yeah.
reaction
Okay.
going on, but that's it.
Very cool. Very cool. So, speaking of it, you touched on it just a little bit already, and obviously, we already know Zachary Goot is one of the hosts of Friday Night Fire, and you are the co-host. So, where can
That
we
is,
see more of you,
so
Brandon?
that is no longer gonna be a thing.
Okay.
I as of this next Friday, I'm gonna be taking over as full host
Okay.
of Friday Night Fire.
Yeah.
Zachary's gonna be stepping back a little bit,
Okay. All right.
doing his own
Fair enough.
thing, which is great.
Yeah.
We want people to grow in this community, and
Yep.
sometimes that does mean stepping back from it.
For sure. Yeah. Oh,
Which
yeah.
is
You got
great.
it. You got
So
it.
you can see me next Friday. Probably right now it'll be on the Reapers Road, or not the Reapers Roadhouse.
I know. Yeah.
The Speakeasy. I got the freaking hat on.
Yeah.
It'll be on the Speakeasy
Okay.
until I can figure out where and what it's going to be.
I'm pretty sure that group is public, but if not, we'll make sure it is so that other people can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be posted on the Speakeasy, but I think I'm going to be doing my own YouTube channel.
Okay.
In cahoots with Friday Night Fire, and I'm going to start my own thing. So
okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm excited to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, I would like to see more of you too. And
Yeah,
I
I
want
want
to
it
see you
to
start
be.
shining, man. You
I
got
want it to
skills.
be a little more educational.
Okay.
I want some guys like Brandon Whiteleather on there talking about growing peppers and
Good idea.
more of the maybe the nerdy stuff of it, and we're still going to be doing burning. We're still going to be hosting.
Sure.
People do challenges and stuff, but
Yep.
I want people to learn a little bit while they watch us. So that's going to be the goal going forward.
I like it very much. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it was awesome chatting with you. Thank you for squeezing me in.
Of course.
And I know, like I said, I know everybody's got things going on, and it's been back and forth. Everybody's got to figure out how we're gonna chit chat.
I've been slammed since I'm missing a couple days. My boss has been asking me to work overtime and stuff, so I've been slammed, man. But yeah, we're getting it going, man. We're getting it going.
So look, one last thing, if you don't mind, this is your chance to give a plug. Whatever, if you want to share anything.
Yeah, there's a Facebook group called the Honey Pot. It's to support and help me facilitate the creation of the Honey Pot. And that's an open group. Please join and get more information on the Honey Pot and how you can be a part of it, man. That's really my big passion project that I do, is the Honey Pot. So it's open until December 31st. So you still have plenty of time to get into it.
And real quick, if you don't mind, can you explain how to become part of the Honey Pot?
I can give you a little rundown real quick. So it's a $5, it used to be $5. This year it's gone up to $10.
Sure.
because of inflation and all that. So it's a $10 entry fee. You send in 20 grams of pepper powder from your grow, and you pay for return shipping. That guarantees you one spot, one bottle in the honey pot.
Yep. Which is
right there. Bing, bang, boom. It's going to be the same jars, same sticker, same everything, except for peppers are going to be different this year.
Yeah. And while we're here, is anybody interested in another honey pot? While we're here, if you are, please, by all means, let me know.
Who's in the comments that wants one?
Yeah,
also, I just this weekend I made a batch of sauce.
Okay.
It's like my first real, I guess, professional sauce I've made. It's all pH'd and real legit. I did it real legit style, you know. So, and it's honey chipotle barbecue sauce.
Yes, I got jumped in on that as soon as you posted.
Yeah. So there's I still got a few bottles left. So Chasing Capsaicin is where that's posted if you're interested in that, and helping me get to Zest Fest and helping me have a good time out there.
Perfect.
That's where all that money is going to go to. So yeah, guys, I can't wait to see you all out there, man.
For sure. And like I said, good luck, best of luck out there. And sorry I can't make it, but we will see you again, and hopefully you'll be holding that belt up. If not,
yeah, that would be sweet, man. That's what I'm going to strive for.
Yeah, take it and run with it.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you soon, man.
Love you too, brother. Thank you for having me again, man. Peace.
Sure. Well, there you have it. That was Brandon Honeyboy Collins. Great guy in the community. Very giving. Inspirational. Great guy to hang out with, in a sense, virtually, basically. But I'm so thankful I got a chance to get to know him over the years so far, and the friendship keeps growing tighter and tighter and tighter. And I think he'll do well, and I think he'll actually surprise himself. But I am Krazee J, and I like to do things the crazy way. Stay crazy, my friends. I will definitely see you soon.